Hi guys, I'm live. I just want to do just talk with you guys. I think this video shows two things: that I do take suggestions, and I do try to mean what I say. Someone suggested that I do a video on all the places I've been kicked out of and why, and I said sure. So I'm trying to do that. Before I say that, I just did an interview with a guy named Nolving today. I did it at the Salute Lounge. And he's a journalist. I don't know what he's going to do with it, but it went well. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Nolving. And whatever he does with it is fine with me. I don't know if what media he's going to present it in, but I'm happy no matter what happens. It was a good interview. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Nolving. So I'm kicked out of 4 categories of places. First is churches. I'm kicked out of Temecula Calvary Chapel. And this is because I went there for like a year and I didn't dedicate myself to Jesus Christ. So Pastor, what's his name again? Joe, what's his name? I can't remember. Joe, Pastor. I should know his name, dude. Holden, Joe Holden, and Chad, Pastor Chad, had a meeting and decided that I either dedicate your life to Jesus or don't come to our church anymore. And I was honest, said I didn't dedicate myself to Jesus, so I'm no longer allowed in their church. That's one. Next is karaoke venues and bars. I'm kicked out of, I think 4 of, wait, I should say how many, 4 of those. I'm kicked out of the Champion. I'm kicked out of the Cove, and I'm kicked out of the Shamrock, and I'm kicked out of ET's. For what, I'm not totally sure. You know, I asked the people that kicked me out, and even they may not. I mean, I don't know. I was just. It started at the Champion. John's wife Mallory and I kind of liked each other, and one at the last time I was there, Mallory was sitting between me and John, and she was talking to me and ignoring him. That didn't work for him, so he called his friends at the Cove and had them bar me there after barring me at his place, and then I tried going to the Shamrock, and I was barred before the first time I went there. I was barred from even ever getting in. They just looked at me and said, "Get out." I didn't even get to go there one time. And then I went to ET's Lounge and got kicked out of there for some reason. I don't know why either. But I'm kicked out of those 4 venues of karaoke place or bars, whatever you want to call it. Oh, and this is a 5th category. I'm kicked out of places. I don't, not a karaoke place, but there's a place on Temecula at Old Town Front Street. There's a bar. There's a place where you can hear music that I was kicked out of. Not as karaoke, but I was kicked out of there because I wouldn't buy myself a liquor drink. First of all, I offered to buy myself a Coke or something, and they said that's not good enough. So I offered to buy someone else a liquor drink. They said that's not good enough. So since I wouldn't buy myself a liquor drink and drink it, I was barred from coming there again. And that was just a place to see bands. I think it's called, I don't remember, a very forgettable name. It's one of the places you go to hear music on Old Town Front Street. I'm barred from there, but that could be a 5th category. Next category of place I'm barred at is, what would I say next? Guitar Center. I'm barred from ever going there again. I don't know exactly why, but I was there. Last time I was there, the police showed up and told me I needed to leave, and if I ever came back again, I'd be arrested. There's that. And then I'm barred from the mall because when I was with Amy, about how much time ago? Let's see, 14. What would it be? A year and a year and 10 months ago, I was with Amy at the mall, and only because I was with Amy. I would not have done this if I were just by myself. She said, let's go into Victoria's Secret. So I did. And I saw some girls looking through underwear and filmed it on my YouTube channel, and just for fun, and they acted like they were having a good time. And one of them turned on me or whatever, just was and told somebody and whatever, something about, I don't know what she said, I don't know, but I deleted the video on the spot as soon as I found out about, you know, any about that. And I was barred from going to the mall for 3 years, which will expire on April 6th of 2026. So basically 14 more months, plus 2 days. So basically 14 months. If I go to the mall again, I'll be arrested. So that'll end on April 6th, 2026. That's fine. You know, whatever. I don't need to go to church. I don't need to karaoke. I have other guitar stores I can get my strings and picks at, and I don't need to go to church. You know, for what? You know, and you know, not going to the mall saves me money and time. Not going to church is actually good for me. I don't want to go, so that's actually okay. Karaoke, well, that's great, but if I do a video karaokeing, it always gets a copyright claim because I'm using someone else's music behind it, so I can't get paid for any of those videos, so whatever. And those videos didn't get any more views than my own. And what else? As far as guitar, you know, like I said, Guitar Center, you know, whatever. I can get my strings elsewhere, and so I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm gonna do some videos later. I'm up. I'm gonna think about doing a jamming video soon. I like to include all styles in my music. I try to do everything that I'm able to do. And I just got my head around Yngwie Malmsteen's style, which is harmonic minor scales and classical type heavy metal shredding. And so that's important to me. And if it comes to me, I think it's important. But I also like the rock and roll of the modal stuff and the rock pentatonic scales and rock and roll blues stuff. So I don't pin myself down to one style or the other. I did more of a heavy metal style jam earlier today, and whatever it comes out of me comes out of me. I don't know. Some people don't like it maybe, but then again, it's part of music. You know, I want to do. You know, I like jazz. I like Ornette Coleman, John Coltrane, Charlie Parker, Pharoah Sanders, Eric Dolphy. He was a clarinetist for John Coltrane. I like blues, even though I don't really like blues. I don't really go back to the 20s and listen to the original blues, but I like the 60s blues movement, the British Invasion and Cream and Clapton and Hendrix and Beck and Pete Townsend and Jimmy Page. I mean, the original 5 guitarists that Eddie liked: Page, Clapton, Hendrix, Townsend, and Beck, I think he said, were his dudes. And then Van Halen himself, Eddie himself, and then Randy came after that. I love that kind of middle range of guitar hero, middle in time. And then came the shred movement. You know, you had Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, Joe Satriani, Eric Johnson, Vinnie Moore, Tony McAlpine, Richie Kotzen, Greg Howe, Jason Becker, just shredded up, you know, and that's great too. I love that. I mean, what's not to love about good guitar music? I don't want to limit myself to they like this, I have to do that. But then again, if I want to do stuff, I do dig. Oh, and Paul Gilbert in the shred thing, yeah, of course, Paul Gilbert, yeah. And then you have the fusion people. You have Frank Gambale, Bill Connors, Scott Henderson, and of course the ultimate Alan Holdsworth. You know, you have Al Di Meola, kind of another kind of gets called fusion, but it's nothing like Alan Holdsworth. Almost different ends of the spectrum, really. Alan Holdsworth was very humble and used his left hand, and Al Di Meola was very arrogant and used his right hand all the time. Alan Holdsworth was kind of atonal. Al Di Meola was kind of Spanish. And maybe, you know, Alan Holdsworth didn't even like using modes. Al Di Meola played one mode almost all the time, which is Phrygian. Almost couldn't be more opposite, but yet they're kind of in the same category because they're both virtuoso guitarists and playing music that's not mainstream, really. But I like Al Di Meola too. I like Kratunda Forever, Chick Corea. I like atonal. I like atonal classical music. I like what do they call it? Xenoxis. Michon, Olivier Michon, Stravinsky, Debussy, Karl-Heinz Stockhausen did some really cool stuff. John Cage did I if there's a music, I even force myself to listen to music I don't even really like waltzes, like Christmas music is a lot of waltzing. Spanish Mexican music is a lot of waltz, even though it almost sounds like this to me, but I try to hear it once in a while. I want to hear it going by. Rap music, Latin music with the rhythm of Latin, which is not waltz or 4/4 time. It's Latin rhythm, it's kind of its own thing. Dun, 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 dun. That's unique. Whereas the waltz is 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2, and rock is 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. You know, it's all the different kind of beats that you can have. There's African voodoo drumming, which is cool. And then back to the classical, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, and composers all over the place. Tchaikovsky, Mendelssohn, Chopin, Wagner, the atonal composers, Schoenberg, Berg, and Webern. Vivaldi, Albéniz, Telemann, Grieg, Shostakovich, I already said Telemann, Schumann. You know, there's more music to listen to than I have hours in my life left to live, or maybe even have lived. I can't listen to it all. I have so many. And then there's pop music. You know, this great Billy Joel. Elton John, Tom Petty, kind of rock pop, but whatever. There's so much music that it almost paralyzes me musically because I don't know what to listen to next or first. I just don't know what direction to go, you know. And so I just have to follow my gut and my heart and my mind and my hands, and just do what I can, whatever comes to me at the moment. And I just had a breakthrough where I understand I can get my head around Ingrid Malmsteen's sound. So that's going to do something to my playing. It can't do nothing because I'm not God. I can't move without being moved. If I move something, it moves me too. If something moves me, I might move it or move something else. So it kind of affected me somehow. But I'm not saying I'm going to always be just a harmonic minor neoclassical shredder now, but it's going to be part of what I do. Or otherwise, what am I? I have to do whatever's inside of me has to come out, and that's part of me now because I assimilated Ingrid Malmsteen's sound. And that happened without a guitar in my hand. It just happened on a walk. Anyway, I love you guys. Peace, rock and roll.